Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Mountain Mayhem. Sorry for the delay on our startup. We were getting everything set up. Rhodes putting in overtime today. He's going to be bringing us the co-casting and the observing and streaming. So say hi, Clay or Rhodes. Sorry. I don't know. Look, we were talking to the teams. I had to fill a lot of time with the teams, so I've been saying their names. I'm sorry. Yeah, definitely. And I also found out before this, I believe at least Tofu, from what I understand, knows most of the players over on Podgies as well, like personally. Like, I guess they went to the same high school or something. So, a little bit, I feel like a little bit more on the line here for these teams. It's a bit of a, sp is spiteful victory the right word? I don't know. You sussy stuff in the chat. All right. I want to point out they said this is a family-friendly stream before we started, so I am outing them so hard in between the games. But yeah, I'm excited for this as well. I mean, Boba, like you said, has only lost a single game, and it was to I'm blanking on their name right now. Oh, we talked about it. Panda's Cutie, who has looked really strong throughout this league as well. They've been nothing to scoff at. So I'm definitely interested to see where Podgies and Boba are going to stack up against each other as things are coming in on this A site quickly. It's a pretty passive setup here from Podgies. They want to play the time, and a beautiful camera is going to give them a lot of information to go about this retake. A cage as well for Mr. Sky in Heaven to drop out of. It's gonna all come down in a matter of seconds here as the utility will rain in. Everything's gonna pop off, and this defense is being stifled so far. The attackers are gonna claim the kills. Everything's lighting up for Boba, and Sing Zoom can only manage a single kill inside this pistol for Podgies. It is Boba to sweep through.
Right here.
Definitely, it's going to be an aggressive stance here from the defenders to try and pull off an eco win, and it's being rebelled very effectively here. They do lose Fossey, and that Guardian's recovered, but everyone's being mowed down on the defense. It is another clean round for Boba. And, oh, no, go ahead, go ahead. We've seen Podgies do it before as well. And for me, the thing that I want to highlight from Boba here, and the biggest X factor for me, kind of, is the man who is currently topping the leaderboard. For me, a lot of how Boba are going to perform is going to depend on what the Dip doing. How is his form looking today? Because he's been a massive part to Boba's success in this league so far. It feels like Tofu has had, or Fossey rather, has had some struggles early on, but usually can pull through pretty well for their team. Also plays a bit more of a supportive duelist style. Focuses a lot more on space taking and leaves it up to the initiators to collect the kills. So I'm definitely interested to see what they're going to be looking like inside of this match. We're going to need to see some heavy lifting, I feel, from one of these players. And Serendipity is definitely one that can deliver. Retake's gonna start coming through. Can the attackers rebel once again? Serendipity collects 2 kills, but from heaven, Singzoom strikes down another member of Boba and drops down to hell to try and claim yet another, but it's well repelled by Jiggly Tofu, and Serendipity closes out a full house between the initiators.
Right here. Caution here.
Yeah, that bonus round win is huge for Bobas. This is going to give them so much momentum, so much confidence, and mostly so much control over this match. They have the economy of the defenders in their hands right now and are going to be able to dictate this game a lot more than I think we would have first thought coming into it. Good shot from Fufu, and Singzoom's under a lot of pressure over here on C, being pinged out by that recon boat and trying to repel this attack. But Fufu takes out Rivolution towards Garage, which means the coin is going to drop on Singzoom, and with it, their body will drop as well. Fossey claims the site. It's looking like 4-0 from Boba. Certainly is. I mean, keep in mind this is an eco for Pajis, but they need to start collecting something, and Serendipity is only going to continue to collect kills through the smoke. Will claim 1. Tofu shuts it down as well. It's 4-0 and 5 alive for Boba. Their economy is getting out of control. They've gotten a good read on this round. Can they execute off of it? As Cool Guru is going to wait for that sun to come through. He's going to try and pressure these attackers, get a kill secured. A smoke goes up to block the flash from the attackers, and that is going to prompt the defenders to just rush forward and claim some kills. Cool Guru collects 2. The spike is down, and Boba are left scrambling to recover this. As Fufu lurking through Garage, trying to get something going. He's got some support in Tofu, but the spike is on the other side of the map. Yes, they take out Shmevi buckets, but there's still so much more to do for these players. This crossfire is so beautiful, but it does go a little awry. They end up losing both players at the cost of Fufu, though. So Jiggly Tofu left in an ace clutch situation. Has 3 kills. Can they find the last 2? It's a little bit of utility to work with, and will fancy using it. Cool Guru tagged by that shock dart. Audio cue given over, but can't win the gunfight. And so finally, we see a round snatched out of Boba's hands by Pajis. I got it. Boom. Yep. Sorry, I was setting a timer on my phone. I'm sorry. I was the fastest way for me to do it was just to do voice activation on my phone, and so sorry. But yeah, I mean, this is a great start from Boba, but finally a bounce back here from Pajis that is sort of what we're expecting out of them. They've shown themselves to be a team that's the most comfortable when they're taking the rounds by the horns. They're very good at dictating sort of the flow and the pace of the game, and they've kind of let Boba just run away with it so far, which is a bit surprising. Yeah, I mean, we've seen them multiple times sort of take a while to warm up into a series, and at the end of the day, they always come through with the victory. It doesn't really matter how you obtain it, as long as you're pulling it out. So we're gonna see if they're able to sort of get that groove going, or rather how long it'll take for them to find that groove. This is their map pick, though, so it's a little worrying if they don't do super well on it, I feel. Sorry, I was getting stuff set up on the other side of the stream. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, this is... sorry for the scuffed stream, everybody. It's a bit last minute for all of us, so bear with us through the difficulties that we have. So we're just waiting on Fossey to get back. It looks like we are going to be getting a ready in the chat, and this match will be back on. Fossey's back in the server, and we'll see if they can perhaps try and get things back on track for Boba. I am really interested to see how these teams adapt throughout the match. Fufu, though, is going to eat a lot of damage over at C-Long, and that's going to give quite a bit of information over to the defenders. This means that they can have an idea that it's most likely going to be an execute onto the A or B site. We're going to try and get proactive with that. Fossey, though, back in the server and back online as they claim the first kill. Fufu, even with the low HP, manages to collect one as well, but there's multiple of these attackers that are quite low, and Singzoom dodges the Rolling Thunder, so is able to take out Fufu, but Fossey's quick to respond, gets yet another kill on their tally, and that spike will be going down. The attackers are inevitable right now, it feels. However, Shmevy Buckets looking to strip yet another round away from Boba. Has already collected one and brought it down to the 1v1. Will they be ready for this angle by Tofu? Yes, they are. A beautiful shot from Shmevy, and all of a sudden, things are getting personal with these teams. Certainly, this is looking like Podgies could be right back into it, but their economy is still on the struggle bus. They're barely able to afford the rifles here, and Revolution has to lean onto the Blade Storm as well. They haven't been able to build up the economy like Boba have, so they have to contest with yet another full buy, and even after this round, most likely the same ordeal. It's going to be a long hill to climb for the defenders to get back into this, and Serendipity is there to keep them at the bottom. As Cool Guru and Mr. Sky go around, Revolution is trying to get things back in Podgy's favors, but has the best. Serendipity, who has been on fire, finally snuffs that out though, and the defenders have an advantage going into round 7. They're trying to claim Garage, trying to work their way back around this map. It looks like they will be able to claim this C site, and Fufu could activate late in this round as well. Feels like the linchpin here is Fufu. Shmevi Rockets, though, deep on this CT angle, just waiting, and will take Fufu out of the round. It's left to a 1v3 for Tofu. Shots give away that Tofu did not commit the spike plant there, so now they're able to all rotate here, and Podgy's are trying to just take this out of Tofu's hands. Can't manage with all the angles, and all of a sudden, it feels like this is an even game almost. 3-4. With how Boba's been playing, I feel like it's not that, you know, it's not that much of a crazy investment there. You don't want to give any more over to Boba, and a clutch would bolster their confidence so much.
Right here.
It looked like Boba were perhaps reinventing their approach to this map, but it was all a ruse to just lull Podgy's into a false sense of security that the C site would not be the mainstay for Boba. They're gonna have free access to a spike plant and a 4v5 granted over thanks to Fosse's spam through that smoke. It's a disadvantageous retake for the defenders, and they're being slow about this as well. This could affect their time later on into the round, which is something that Boba will take great advantage of. We've seen them in these post plants stall out that clock so well and run it down to where it just feels impossible to get back into it. The Nightfall will come through, but it doesn't stop the guns from ringing out. Boba claim every kill, and they're looking to tally another flawless on the board.
I can't see them yet. I can feel them getting ready. Wow, this is a nice spot.
It was looking pretty rough for Podgy's, honestly. Like you said, the ultimate economy is so in the favor for Boba. It's going to take a long time to get, especially those impactful ults back up for Podgy's, whereas, especially if Serendipity is able to put back on the performance that they had early into this series, it feels like that Rolling Thunder is right around the corner. And Hunter's Fury not too far behind, I'd imagine, as well. It's a lot of pressure being put towards C, and Clay's on this lurk is going to take out one, but Cool Guru manages to double up in response. This flank is a problem for Boba. It is being harassed consistently. They might struggle to deal with it continuing on into the series. However, on the front lines, things are going well over at C. Spike will go down. It's brought to a 2v2. Revolution and Fufu exchange blows. And now Cool Guru has to step up once again. There is a low player inside of this cage. Could collect both these kills, but Tofu manages to get the jiggle out, and Fufu collects the final kill as well. It's 6 for Boba. I like this position though from Shmebby Buckets. Doesn't quite manage to find the head, but it's set up Mr. Sky and Cool Guru who get one kill apiece. And Mr. Sky, Revolution. I'm losing all the names right now. Wants to try and turn up that aggression, but it's only going to result in Boba managing to get this back to an even man count. Serendipity manages to go down there to Cool Guru, and Tofu has to get things back to an even count. This is, all things considered, worked out well for the defenders here. They're able to recover some rifles and start to make their way into a retake, as the spike will go down on A. Just Fury online as well. Yeah, this Hunter's Fury is online, but Tofu's just going to play up close and personal. Doesn't want to lean into that for this round. Will this be cleared from the defenders? Cool Guru doesn't seem to be considering this. Neither are. It's the ace from Jiggly Tofu to keep things from going awry for Boba. Hey, Tofu, obviously. This is giving old Boba vibes in general. They're looking absolutely on fire against Pajis, who is supposed to be one of the stronger teams in this league. They're currently paling in comparison to Boba. However, as we've mentioned, a bit of a late bloomer is Pajis. They take a little bit of time to warm up into these series, and at any point they could flip that switch. Cool Guru takes out Clays towards A long. That means that these defenders have so much more room to work with. However, the attackers have mid-rounded this perfectly. They're right back onto this C site, and there is nobody to repel this attack from getting the plant down. Tofu rather still has that Hunter's Fury available as well. This is a problem for Pajis, especially if Fosse is collecting kills on the site, taken out by the Aftershock, but Serendipity is right back in this, has claimed another kill for Boba, and that Hunter's Fury is going to stall out the time. A bit premature, though. However, everything comes down to Sing Zoom. Has gotten to half on the spike, tapping away at it, trying to bait out these fights, but it feels like it's just too much. Boba stall out the time effectively, and though the kills come through, it's a hollow victory for Pajis.
Last round in the half. Get out of my way.
Yeah, getting those kills in the last round has set them up perfectly for this next. However, Serendipity goes down here, which means Cool Guru is going to fancy their chances at a push, and this kind of frees up Fosse inside of this round to be a little bit. Oh my god, Mr. Sky, I'm going to drop what I'm saying to just absolutely glaze those shots. That was disgusting, and now Fufu has left with it all to do in the final round of this half. Has to try and wrestle this back into the favor of Boba, or else they're going to let it slip at the 11th hour here in the first half. Does manage to get all the way through A long here. This doesn't seem to be considered much for Pajis. Nobody's looking at this position. It could find a favorable timing here if they just are proactive enough. On the other side of the wall, though, Mr. Sky is set up perfectly to hold this angle. 3 on the round. I thought Mr. Sky was closer, but Turns out they were anticipating that push perfectly.
Who's there?
Oh no. I hope it's... one of us has been yelling into the void for the entire game. Oh no. As we get these stream issues figured out, once again, once again, want to apologize. Like we said, bit of a scuffed stream setup, but at least we're able to get right back into it here. I've been talking to no one for you guys, but Rhodes has been here. Rhodes has been talking. You know, I'm not. There's no voices in my head, I swear. However, Fossey is looking to fend. Okay, Fossey is looking to fend off some demons of their own as the attackers claim the site, but it's well repelled from Boba as a whole. So everything falls down to Shmevy Buckets. It's the 1v3 and can't even manage a single kill in it. Serendipity is right back into this game. And like I said earlier, Fossey is a duelist that sets up his initiators to succeed, and a lot of the heavy lifting was going to have to be done by Tofu and Serendipity. Nope. Rhodes is still figuring out all the audio issues.
Hi, I'm here. Yay.
Hey, hi Rhodes.
Giga told me I didn't need this audio one, so thanks for that. When I click on this, I was like,
ironically, that's probably because usually our observer doesn't talk.
Yeah, I have been here. Hello. Sorry for the bad observer. Fossey gets one.
Oh, and who else is here? Fossey. Fossey at the
ace.
Oh my god! Dashes into the opposition after hitting a second banger of a shot. It just decides I've got to throw away my life after that one. That was gross. Oh, things are looking good for Boba in this second round of the half. They're going to try and convert yet another one. However, the attackers have managed to get their hands onto an outlaw, but it's only going to get one, and Serendipity is right back here. It felt like Serendipity had started to fall off, and just lighting it up again out of nowhere.
I mean, we did see them go a bit slower earlier, but either way, it has been kind of just Tofu and Serendipity just absolutely popping off, and as they continue to rack up these kills, Apologies just get farther and further away from actually being able to compete in this game. Of course, they have their guns now, but from what we saw from Boba earlier, they can win this round. They can win this bonus, and they have to be very, very careful here, as it does look like they're going to be pushing A again. We'll definitely see how it does work out there, leaving the bomb down for a moment, so I'm interested to see what they decide to do.
I mean, honestly, we haven't needed to see much else from Boba. It's been such a lights-out performance from Tofu and Serendipity, Fossey stepping up when they need it, so there really hasn't been a need for the others to do much more. This is looking great from them. However, Fossey takes a lot of damage here. He's gonna try and just dig their heels into A, but all these attackers have full armor. That's gonna bode poorly for this outlaw.
Hey, I mean, we've seen Fossey do some crazy things, but they are looking to give up A here, so this site can definitely be completely theirs. It looks like a lot of utility will come out as well.
Yeah, Fossey spotted out by that haunt. It's going to be under a lot of pressure here, it feels like, as the attackers are closing in. Revolution takes Serendipity out from heaven, and I think Fossey is just going to fancy going for that Bulldog and trying to do something from heaven. Opposing Jet tries to dash up, but is quickly repelled. These defenders have such a difficult task breaking into the site. A recon dart will go out. They're going to try and push off of it. However, it will only result in a single kill. Everything falls down to Clays in heaven in a 1v4. There's an outlaw available and a couple of low players, but this feels like such a tall task to go after. Does manage to take out Singzoom, one of the only high HP players on the squad, but that time is getting so low right now. And Clays has accepted that there's no way into it, wants to just die to the spike, doesn't want to give over these orbs, these ultimate points to the opposition.
I mean, smart enough from Clays there, as we finally see something from Podgy starting to show some light down the tunnel. They only take down 2, so we'll definitely see what they can do with their money heading into this next round. We'll see what Boba can do on their defense, because this is kind of where the momentum could potentially shift. If Boba are able to find this round or even find it cleanly, that can definitely be very hurtful towards what Podgies want to do for the rest of this game. But if Podgy can find this round, I mean, we know that they can be very momentum based. I'm really interested to see what we do see here, as it does look like they want to potentially go for some mid split.
I'm interested to see how this goes, because Podgy's needed that round to be very strong and very clean, or else they would have been on the back foot going forward into this half. However, only losing a few players means that they can mostly get rifles back up. Only Shmevy Bucket's stuck with a Spectre here. That means that they're going to be very dangerous going into this round. Fufu set up in garage, just trying to play this spam angle with the Odin, will go down. Not able to get anything for their team. That means everything falls to Clays on the site, who will perform well. Gets a double kill before being taken out by Rivolution. So this retake is on for Boba. It's a 2v2. Fossey could even evelin it back up into their advantage, but Singzoom is there to put everything on Tofu's shoulder. We've seen a clutch from this player before, but can he pull through when Boba really need it here? This could be absolutely brutal to give over such momentum to your opponents. It's going to start out well, and Jiggly Tofu so very close, but Rivolution is there to close out the round for Podgies at a very heavy cost economically.
1 HP there for Rivolution. Barely stays alive, but they're able to win that round. Of course, the money isn't looking too great for either team, but I can't speak. The eco will have to go for Boba this round, and now we can see Podgies potentially look for some momentum in this game, look to get some rounds done, as it looks like we're going to see a lot of aggression here from Boba. This could get messy real fast.
Podgies now have control of the momentum of this game, and that could be a problem for Boba. The attacking side is very difficult to fend off on Haven. If Podgies are able to just completely barrel through Boba, that bodes poorly for them going forward in this series. Mr. Sky snuffs out Clays, and everything falls to Fossey with the Blade Storms. It'd have to be in 1v5 ace clutch. As they're getting lit up through the smoke, it feels nigh impossible.
I mean, it was the Blade Storms used too, and with nothing really left. Can find one, but I mean, it's a hollow shell.
It is. It's such a... At this point, it's sort of just for the confidence, it feels like. And also with the economy, try and strip as many guns from these attackers as you can. Don't let their weapons and money get out of control, but a single kill is all they'll find. Rivolution is starting to wake up.
Yeah, they found some kills at the start of that round. That's exactly what they need to do, and we'll definitely see if they can continue with this momentum. But an operator from Fossey could stifle everything that the Podgies want to do in this round. It doesn't look like they will be going A just yet. Maybe they are. Oh, they are. If Fossey can find a kill here, this could definitely halt a lot of momentum.
Certainly could. Fossey, what do you have for us? You've been pretty solid throughout this series, but if you're going to invest such a heavy cost like the op, you need to step it up here and now for your team. Forced back by the Prowler, and decides to just set up in short, collects a kill onto Guru, which means the smokes are stripped away from the attacking side, and Boba have a massive advantage for this round now. Mr. Sky on the lurk, takes out Fufu, the Cypher diff comes through, and that allows the neural theft as well. Podgies can mid-round this very effectively. They're spotted out by Tofu's recon towards B, which is going to prompt Boba to be proactive on their hold, but Tofu loses that fight, and now it's a rough retake for Boba. They have an op to retake B. It's going to be Serendipity to open it up and tries to collect a double kill, but can't muster a second. A lot of damage has been dealt to this Boba, or to this Podgy's team rather. That's going to start to become a problem. The Rolling Thunder though comes through, and it's a one in response from Serendipity. Boba are really giving this round a look. Tap on the spike from Clays. The aftershock comes through, and Revolution in the back of the site, playing passive, offers up this round for Podgy's, and it's looking impossible for Clays to pull it off as the time is so very low. One more tap on the spike, spraying away, but there's nothing to be found here.
Another round once again for Podgy's. It may have been dirty, but that's going to force another eco round on the Boba. That's going to give them potentially 9 rounds there for Podgy's. They are looking really nicely. Of course, it's probably not the ways they wanted to happen, but with both those Rolling Thunders being invested, they take the winning of the trade. They will be able to buy back quite a bit of guns. They have some economy to work with. But on the other side, Boba, they're falling flat. They've lost 4 in a row. They can't understand or can't mid-round like this Podgy's team has been doing. So I'm really interested to see if they can step it up here, if they can figure out what they're doing, because these mid-round plays that we're seeing from Podgy's is really destroying Boba so far.
Revolution is feeling confident, pops that Blade Storm, wants to start building up more economy here on their defense or on their attacking side, which has gone pretty solid for them, all things considered. Only 2 rounds have been awarded to Boba here. Serendipity is now looking down the barrel of yet another B hit, but this time only has a Sheriff to try and hold on. The attackers don't want to fully commit though. They're taking their time with this round, and this could work to the effect of Boba as they keep getting more and more damage stacked up, which means these marshals can start to collect kills. Clays, back of the site, can you muster anything? Can't quite make it work with that shrouded step. It's not a Rudy moment at all as Revolution even recovers. I believe that was a Marshall to try and hold on to into the next round, because that Blade Storm is running thin. Serendipity, a great flash, and a kill found as well, but everything's falling apart around them. Fossey gets yet another, but everything is just stacked up against Boba in this round. They make it a little bit expensive, but at the end of the day, Podgy's keeps trucking forward.
Yeah, Kukuru will also pick up a 4K. Like I said before, Podgy's, they're a second half team, and once again, these Wizards are doing their magic, absolutely crushing. Now, 1 round apiece. We need to see something from Boba. We need to see some pushback, because, I mean, Podgy's, they're just taking these sites so well. They're not losing many members when they do it. Yes, the post plants have been a bit spicy, but they are winning these rounds and they're playing well. So I want to see what Jiggly Tofu can do here with the Hunter's Fury. But Shmevy Buckets has that Nightfall, which we know is such a powerful ability.
Been 5 rounds straight here from Podgy's. They're on fire right now. Boba have to find their footing back into this, or else things are just going to start to spiral out of control for them. I feel like we need to see a step up from Tofu or Serendipity. They've been kind of quiet ever since this streak started from Podgy's. It's mostly felt like Fossey picking up the slack in the last few rounds. Need to see all of Boba coming back online if they want to best this team. And Serendipity is going to get the jump spot, eats a little bit of damage for it here. Ooh. However, it's not enough for Revolution to collect the kill. Serendipity is really feeling clean today and will take out one of these attackers, securing an advantage that it feels like the defense have not had for a long time. Fossey adds to it. Serendipity throws in a stun, wants to collect another, but a bit of over-aggression means that the attackers have found a foothold in this B site. They're going to commit that plant down. Hunter's Fury comes through, trying to clear out these angles, and it forces them into Fufu's angle. Now, Mr. Sky and Shmevy have to stand strong, and everything falls to Shmevy Buckets, who isn't considering mid. And as a result, Boba are going to find an 11th. They finally shut down a streak.
I mean, Podgy just keep trying to push this B, and it has worked time and time again. But with a lot of those kills going towards the side of Boba early in the round, it definitely stifled it quite a bit. Serendipity finding that opening pick, and then it just kind of went on and on. We did see the kills over from the Odin of Jigglytofu, sorry, was it Tofu or Fufu? Sorry, I don't remember. Was it Fufu?
Fufu with the Odin? Fufu had the Odin.
Yeah, Fufu.
Tofu popped the Hunter's Fury.
Yeah. Fufu with the Odin, and then just kind of just serenaded them down. They couldn't really move to back site like they have before.
Serenade. I like that word.
It was not used
Webster's
in the
dictionary roads, huh?
It was not used in the right context whatsoever, but we'll take it.
All right, well, unfortunate. What is the definition of serenade? I have no idea.
It just sounded nice, you know?
It did. It did sound very nice. You sounded extremely sophisticated with that.
I appreciate that. I've been trying, you know?
You're a smart chap, I think. Bossy, though, is not looking too smart for that aggression. Pushing ahead of the tripwire means that life will be taken before they can even activate on anything, any kind of information. Mr. Sky takes out Serendipity as well. So defenders are, once again, looking under a lot of pressure. Clay is popping another Shrouded Step. Will get out of the site this time. It goes well. However, it's a 3v5 retake for Boba. It's not looking good. Mr. Sky can activate late on this lurk, has managed to slip the net on the timings, and Clays is not considering this position. It's been a while since I've said it, but dare I say we've seen a Snorlax flank.
And it's a beautiful flank, isn't it? As Fufu will give up the site, give everything up. Okay, you know, it's too late, but the funny number, haha. Anyway, we do see 11.
I noticed that you hadn't mentioned it.
I'm too focused, observing, you know? Anyway, 11-10 now. This game is super close. I mean, anything can really happen. We're going to see potentially another eco come out from Boba. They do have some money to buy 2 guns, but I don't know if you really want to risk it at this late in the game, but we've seen everything across the tournament. We've seen teams just absolutely buy everything. We've seen teams be a bit slower and try and play for late, but we'll definitely see how they do decide to do it, and it does kind of look like at the moment they're going to buy the 3 guns, and the other 2 will kind of just chill.
I mean, Fossey does have the Blade Storm available. Tofu looks like they're going to go for a pistol buy here. So there is some bite to this defense, but it's definitely a bit weak here. And I'm interested to see if Prodigies are able to isolate these weak players and exploit that. So they're looking to set their sights towards A. It's a good read. They've identified where the Blade Storm is and where the Ghost is as well. Clays gets taken out on the other side of the map. Fossey not ready for Guru to be so far up, and Tofu is left alone with no armor and only a Ghost. However, it's actually just Ghosts in the site as Podgies have pulled the plug. They want to move towards C.
Yeah, and the lone person towards there is going to be Fufu, but with Mr. Sky once again on the flank. Does have the trip there this time, but I don't really know if it's going to be enough, as Fufu will spot out with the cam. This is a C site hit, and we need to see Fufu find some sort of clutch.
I almost would have preferred to see Fufu maybe be a little bit more proactive on that hold. I know it feels so desperate, but this 3v5 retake just feels so unlikely, and maybe just hope for a hero moment out of Fufu with the utility that they had on site and the Odin to spam away. Now it feels like this round is just forfeited, and Boba are still even going to go for it, which means their guns are just going to be lost, it feels like. Podgies posturing up for yet another round win. It's a flawless.
This late in the game, you get flawless. That is exactly not what you want. When you have those 3 guns, you have the Blade Storm popped. Everything they want to do just went down the toilet, and now we're going to see our first timeout here come from Jigglytofu. Try and talk to the team. This is a tied game here, and I mean, it has been close. We've seen some ups, we've seen some downs, but we also have not seen Boba from the first half show up. We've seen this attack finally show up here on Haven. It feels like every time we watch Haven, it never is a attacker-sided map. It's been a lot of defense, so I'm really impressed so far seeing what these attackers can do on both sides. And right now, Boba, they need to find some sort of round, or they might not go to distance.
Right here.
I hope that I can only hope that this map goes the distance, but do bear in mind this is Podgy's map pick. They wanted to take this to Haven, so Boba hopefully have something up their sleeve for Ascent. I feel like we are getting ahead of ourselves. This map is far from over, I feel. It could very easily go to overtime. I'm gonna say the thing, Rhodes. We will need all of regulation to decide it, at least.
I mean, yes, that is how that does work. Yes, but we we need to see Boba win this round if we're going to go to overtime, because they are going to be on an eco next round. They are full buying into this. They are leaving no friends behind. They need to find something, but with this aggression we're about to see, it might not go in their favor.
I do like this from Boba, though. They've been pretty passive on their defense so far, and now Clays is pushing all the way up. Even Serendipity to sell the fact that nobody is fully pushed up here. This could be a multi out of Clays, and it's a triple. Doesn't manage to get the fourth, but Serendipity is there to collect, and it all falls to Cool Guru, who gets it back. 1v2 now is doable. Tagged out by the recon dart, and is going to choose to just teleport over towards this A site. Wants to give it a go and has a decent shot at it as well. Could Tofu, or rather Clay's efforts, really go to waste here? Cool Guru looking to stamp things out for Boba, pushing through this smoke into CT. Will they manage to get the timing? No, can't best Tofu, and so it's a match point for Boba.
Oh my, it worked like a charm. Serendipity, the MVP in that round. Yes, Clay's got the kills, but Serendipity sold that fake so well. Just shot the bullets, just made sure everyone knew, because also showing the player in general, they showed where they were in Cubby, so it even sold it even further. No one even tried to pay attention that Clay's could even be near there, and huge kills, and that is how you get the match point. We could be going to overtime, but of course, with both teams having full weaponry, yes, the money is of course in the favor of Podgies, but we can see anything happen in this round, especially with that Rolling Thunder that could come out.
Match point now for Boba, and they're looking to put it away here on Haven. They've got a good setup for it. Can they just put that final nail in the coffin? It's a fully armed attack to try and push this even further, as that Nightfall will go in. Cool Guru and Rivolution are the first on the assault. A Rolling Thunder comes through as well. Fossey pushing right into the action, isn't ready for the forward position from Rivolution. Clay is on the other side of the site, though, is taking this. Boba have completely claimed B, and now the spike is lost. The attackers have found their way onto A, but there's no point to it. They don't have the spike. They need to try and recover this. Sing Zoom first up to bat, trying to best Tofu in mid, has an idea that there's a player here and wants to flush out that cubby. This recon dart comes through, it pings two members, and Sing Zoom tagged through the smoke, trying to tap that spike, wants to get an opening, but is only gonna fall. Cool Guru has to step up. It's now or never. Rivolution by their side has still yet to make their way back from mid, and Boba are looking so good. Finally, Rivolution is into support, trying to get this back into the flavor of Podgies, and it's a 2v2, and that plant is going down on A.
What a psycho round from both these teams. This is definitely the last round of regulation in Haven. We'll have to see what they decide to do, as it looks like Cool Guru take in a very forward boss. If they're not paying attention, this could be really good.
Yeah, but it is predicted from Serendipity, manages to collect the kill, and now Rivolution left with it all to do, spamming their entire mag away. That is such a risky decision. Manages to get the reload off, but their position is revealed, and Boba pull off the round. They manage to close it out in regulation. We will not see overtime, and the map of Podgies is lost.
What a game we just witnessed with these two titans. Absolute banger to end that round off. Serendipity and Tofu, both with 22 kills, top frag in that match in general. We just saw the whole team really show up there, and I really enjoyed that final round, especially. What a game we just witnessed, and really excited to see what else we have from the series, as we do have an interview potentially coming.
Yeah, we're gonna be pulling in Tofu here for the interview. funny enough, it was said that whoever top fragged for Boba for that match would end up doing the interview, and so it'll be none other than Tofu to join us. Congratulations on winning Haven.
Oh, I had no clue I was doing the interview. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, thank you.
I just want to pick your brain about that series for just, or that map rather, just for a minute here before we send it to break. We were informed, I believe it was by you specifically, said that you guys know these players outside of the game, at least to some extent. So I wanted to ask you, is there a little bit more on the line for you personally when you know the team you're going up against?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good friends with all of them, specifically Cool Guru. I've known since I was 3. Hometown. Obviously, none of us want to lose to each other, right? That's also why we're enjoying BMing each other. It's just friendly banter. But yeah, I don't want to lose to them. But they were coming back. And Jesus, they played so well. It scared me the lights out of me. Holy cow! I'm not gonna lie.
And speaking of that comeback that did start the ramp up quite a bit, you called that timeout very late in the game. What did you talk to about your team about how you're going to try and get back in this game as all your momentum was lost?
I think as things get turned up, I kind of just forgot. Well, I noticed some tendencies, but wasn't calling plays on it. So I just called the timeout, and then we just designed one specifically for that round. But aside from that, yeah, I honestly we never called timeouts. I just kind of forgot we had timeouts until one of my teammates, I think Saren, actually told me to call it, which was good on him. Shout out to Saren. So yeah, I forgot we have timeouts. I'm gonna be honest.
And I mean, it definitely worked out for you guys because you managed to barely pull that map over the line. I mean, despite your guys' lead, at the end of the day, what matters is getting the map win, no matter how you get it. So, congratulations on that. We'll be throwing it to a quick 5-minute break here as we get ready for map 2. It's going to be Ascent, the map pick of Boba.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. On map one, we saw Boba barely be able to pull it over the line there, and now we move over to Boba's own map pick of Ascent. Can we possibly see a bounce back from Podgies, or will Boba run away with this series 2-0?
I mean, that is the question, and with how that map actually went, this could go either way. Who knows how all this will really turn out, because we have seen Boba have a lot of highs, have a lot of lows, but the same thing can be said for Podgies. They had a lot of lows and then they had a lot of highs. So both of these teams can definitely show us a lot of aggression and a lot of momentum shifts. So I'm really interested to see what we can see from both of them here.
I don't know if we're getting trolled by Boba here or not, but oh my god,
There it
they are
is.
locking in the deadlock now. Will Clays go for the Omen, or will we see that? uh, oh goodness, I'm forgetting their name. Okay, the Omen does come through. Wow, Clove that we were seeing hovered
Yeah,
earlier,
yeah.
but no, it will be the Omen from Clays. However, deadlock is really interesting. I'm excited to see what they have up their sleeves with that.
I mean, Deadlock is a very fun pick, and really interested to see what we do have on our hands here in this match, because we always like some of them unconventional comps that we don't usually see now. We usually see, especially with these older maps that have already that meta sufficed. So I really like when people try and innovate and show us something new. And with Boba back on attack once again, I'm really interested to see what we got on our hands in this match.
Certainly, at this point, it's gonna have to be a big bounce back from Podgies. We need to see them bring that confidence that they were starting to build up over on Haven back into their forefront, because I would hope that it wasn't snuffed out because they just narrowly lost that map.
Yeah, and we'll have to see what they do decide to do. Again, they are a very second half team, and that does also mean in maps we have seen them lose them first map quite a bit, honestly. So we'll see if they can show some aggression, show some confidence heading into this one, as we might see some early aggression from both these teams. And it looks like Rivolution in a pickle.
Pushing right into that one-way smoke, and Fosse is going to take their head off. That means that this A site is going to be vulnerable. However, look at this from Serendipity, lurking up through B main, wanting to try and either have a late lurk here or sell a fake.
Doesn't get
As
spotted.
all these, oh my god, this is so perfect from Serendipity, but will see it spotted out by the camera, it seems there. However, it's the A site that's under assault as the attackers storm in. Fosse claims hell. The generator is set up at, and the plant will come through. Even a cage set inside of trees here to keep Cool Guru from being able to truly get this retake underway. And as that pick is lost, the defenders are in a rough retake situation. Things are going great for Boba right now as everything falls to Mr. Sky, and Fufu is unstoppable in the pistol.
A 3K there at the end of the round, a 4K in general for Fufu picks up that. And I mean, that could have gone really either way, but it all started with Rivolution getting picked off at the start of the round. They're able to push through that site, find a decent position. We saw a lot of damage go down onto the players as Shmevi did pick up that one kill, but it just wasn't enough. Fufu standing strong, didn't have the best game on Haven there, but I'm really hoping we see that kind of push back into this one, as we'll be picking up the areas that we've seen before. Serendipity needs to be a bit careful from this aggression. We'll spot out quite a bit of players.
Yeah, it's a very aggressive stance from the defenders here. Probably trying to snuff out Serendipity, but it's a quick double kill. Will eventually go down. The damage has been done. Fosse is here to hold the line in mid. Does great to do so. Sing Zoom goes down. Clays is here to respond and is quick to shut down any chance for Podgies in this round. It's only Shmevi Buckets left with this Bulldog, and all the work to do will be cleared out. Won't win the fight, or won't be go down to Clays here, but once again, these are hollow victory of kills.
I mean, Clay's only had a ghost there, so didn't really care about dying, and will essentially get this round. We're going to see some damage done here from Shmevi. Gonna look for this pick onto the lone Jiggly Tofu. Will they be able to find it though? As they will be spotted out. It's going to be interesting.
Jiggly Tofu does close out that round, and we'll even recover the Bulldog as well. So 3 players alive. It's looking pretty good for Boba in their second round force. So we now turn our eyes towards these rifles on the defense. Podgies need to get their footing here.
They need to find something because we've seen Boba win each pistol so far in the series. They are 3-0. They are looking strong in them. Podgies, their pistols have never really been that great, at least to my remembrance knowledge. So I really want to see them be able to lift off once again and not go down 3-0 like they did in the last matches. We're going to see some more aggression here potentially from Rivolution that could stifle the game out as the one-way does come out once again. And mid does look like will be the play for now.
Podgies have everything they could possibly want in this round, barring maybe an op in the hands of Rivolution. So now we need to see what they can do, and Cool Guru delivers with the Vandal. A double kill on Catwalk, and Rivolution set to receive Clays, but will only receive a bullet between the eyes. Sing Zoom now has to fend off these attackers and can't do so. The site is lost. It's a 3v3 retake. As soon as this plant goes down, Mr. Sky being diligent to clear out mid. As Clays goes down to the spam from Sing Zoom, it's a lot of pressure on these attackers to hold off the site. At this point, you're looking to most likely cause as much damage as you can, but it's all going to be left to Fossey, who can only get a single kill. 3 on the round for Boba, but at the end of the day, they won't find a third round itself.
Yeah, 2 on the round for Boba, not 3, buddy, but... Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Alright.
Kills in the round. Yeah.
Alright, Fossey and Fufu doing well, so, I mean, actually, Fufu only got 4 kills in the first round. Either way, Fossey couldn't do a hero play there. Either way, Shmevi and Cool Guru, Sing Zoom, they're the ones showing up so far. We need Rivolution to find some of these picks. Has been bested by Clays in that last round and definitely hurt them in a way, but we'll see what happens in this round. Decent damage done by Boba in general, as we do see 5 guns picked up for Boba, obviously. We'll see what they do decide to do, and maybe we'll find some more damage here from Podgies. We know they can do it, but will they be able to find the shots is the great question.
Fufu trying to aggress up mid alongside of Fossey here. Mr. Sky is able to ward off the attack really well here. Takes Fossey out of this round. I feel like this one needs to be clean from Podgies, unless they want this to spiral out of control economically for them. This is definitely a make or break round for them, and I believe Boba knows that, as they're now trying to identify what the weak side of the map is. And they've guessed right so far. There's only 2 defenders over on A, but a rotate is called quickly. Cool Guru, a bit aggressive through that smoke, goes down, and now Rivolution, all the way back in Wine, is being watched by Clays and can't slither out of there. So the defenders now face a disadvantageous retake. It's 3v4, and they need to break through this front line. Serendipity set up on Catwalk is just going to play this round passive, wants to run down that clock. Smevy Buckets has to break the door to break through the site, and will do so effectively, but Serendipity activates from Catwalk, and everything falls to Sing Zoom. With an Odin in hand, will wrestle 1 kill, but has to get onto the spike. The halfway point has been hit, dodges the paranoia, but can't best the rifles. It's right back into it for Boba.
I really like that play from Serendipity there, playing slow in tree, sitting at Cat, just watching the flank, and will find the timing to actually kill the last 2 members that looked kind of dangerous for just a moment. But with the numbers advantage that Serendipity was actually able to provide, they were able to close that one out. And like you said before, you want to see Podgies win that cleanly, but once again, Boba, they like to make these plays so chaotic, and it definitely showed there, as they are down 2 or 3-1 once again. We'll definitely see how they do decide to play this round. Boba is looking to go B potentially, as with this eco, it's definitely going to be a bit rough here for Podgies.
They need to start to stack some confidence up. I feel like Boba are really feeling themselves today. And the only thing that can stop them is completely shatter their confidence, it feels like. Singzoom is going to attempt to do so, gets 2 kills, but that's going to allow the Neural Theft to come through. All these defenders will be identified. Fosse takes out Revolution, and everything falls to Mr. Sky, who hits a nice shot in mid, but has to try and work their way out of and market, and doesn't fancy their chances for that. They're going to instead choose to go towards the defender spawn and work a different angle. It's a good setup for Boba. 2 players towards Boathouse. This will be difficult for Mr. Sky to flush out, and that time is ticking down. Serendipity hits the Cypher diff and secures a 4th for Boba.
Another really hard thing for Mr. Sky there is actually have to traverse across there to actually pick up a gun too, so that's even more time that could have been wasted. So that's why you saw Mr. Sky kind of consider just walking down the stairs, because it was just the time was running out and didn't really have much room to falter. Either way, hit that nice shot on the clays, found some damage. That, again, that wasn't eco, so they were able to find quite a bit of damage on the Boba. But now that they're down 4-1, we're back in that same situation from last game where they need to win this round to show some life in this game.
Revolution starting to try and breathe life right now. Gets 1 kill, and Cool Guru is there to add to the tally, but Tofu, great tracking on the Hunter's Fury, and Serendipity manages to get a kill of their own, so things are starting to go back in favor of Boba, but there's still a hill to climb. They still have a man disadvantage here. Stingzoom spotted out by the sonar. It's just gonna fall back. If Boba can correctly identify where the single player is, they could manage to find their way into this round, and they're guessing correctly. All the reads are going Boba's favor right now. As they start to posture towards B, it is only Shmevy buckets to receive them, and there's no Cypher utility to lean on as well. If Boba are quick, they could find themselves being able to pull off a round that looked destined for Podgies.
Yeah, it's going to be very close. Shmevy has to be quick here, has to be paying attention, cannot fall asleep at the wheel.
Such an important situation for
it's a
Shmevy
bit
Buckets
high.
here. Has to stand strong for this kill and does manage to get their 1. Everything falls to Serendipity in the 1v3. Gets that spike back in hand. Gets the cages out to cover their cross. Spotted by the recon dart. Manages to isolate the fight onto Shmevy Buckets, but has to start committing that plant. Does get the kill, but the time is so low, and the defenders can just stall it out. It's Singzoom just spammed through Boathouse and gets the kill. It's 2-4. And Podgies need to start stacking up these rounds.
Podgy said, you guys like chaotic rounds? We will show you a chaotic round. And they brought it back once again. This is similar numbers that we're seeing from last game right now. It is 4-2 once again. Potential momentum swing can always happen for this Podgy's team. They have 4 ultimates available here. 3.5 if you're not counting the Omen. Either way, they have a lot of good ultimates to use in this round, but can Boba show us something good as their economy is starting to falter?
Maybe Buckets is trying to cut things off at B main, but under so much pressure right now, can't even get away with a single kill. The Hunter's Fury is popped. Can it collect some of these kills? It doesn't manage to find even a single tag. And the Neural Theft comes through for Boba as well, so they can start to mastermind this round as Clay's activating late inside of mid. Podgies doesn't seem like they're considering at all. Fosse on the front lines with a Blade Storm, but Cool Guru manages to get the kill onto Serendipity as that plant goes down. Clay's activating late is the linchpin of this round for Boba. Can just slip back into the night and be such a thorn in the side of the defenders on this retake. It's looking less and less likely as time goes on. The Odin spamming through, gets the kill onto Jiggly Tofu. There's so much utility to overcome here, and Cool Guru is left with so much on their plate. Everything falls to Singzoom, who can't best Fufu, and Boba are right there to respond to Podgies' round.
Oh, these rounds are just going back and forth at this point. Yes, of course, it's still favoring Boba, but it does kind of feel like whoever can cause some more chaos, can cause some more confusion for the other team, just does end up winning it. And right now, we're seeing Boba definitely cause a lot more serendipity on that Cypher. Top fragging, which, I mean, we saw Serendipity have such a good start to Haven as well. I'm not really surprised. That is one of your players that you said earlier that you wanted to watch, and I'm really not surprised at this point, as they're showing us a really fun game.
What the Dip doing? He's topping the leaderboard early on in both maps. At the end, it was Tofu to pull ahead on Haven, but right now it's Dip all the way as collects yet another kill. Revolution trades it back, but it's all to sell the fact that this is an A hit in reality, which means that the site is completely locked down. The spike is planted, and everything is going the way of Boba right now. Their reads are pitch perfect here on Ascent. Tofu gets Revolution with a shock dart, and now Mr. Sky has a no say in this round, surely, as they're spammed to this floor. Feels so unlosable for Boba. Singzoom tries to show that every round is winnable here, but can't best Tofu. The Sova, there's a significant differential here, it feels.
I mean, at the moment, but there's only 2 kills across from both of them. We're just seeing a lot of good duels. And surprisingly right now, 2 of the best players that are usually on these teams are kind of bottom fragging. Technically, yes, Fossey is tied with Clays and Jigglytofu, but Revolution 2 and 8 so far on this Jet. Not exactly the best performance out of one of your top players of this team, and it's definitely a slow start for Podgies, but once again, I will say they are a second half team. Expect the unexpected.
They could warm up into this game at any point. So for Boba, it's all about trying to stack up as many rounds as they can before that comes to fruition. They did just enough on Haven, it seemed, to avoid losing out that map, and it's looking even better here on Ascent as they're looking to stack up their 7th. They've got a good setup for it. This Cool Guru doesn't even seem to be considering these players coming in from the attacker spawn. Does suss it out, but it's predicted from Boba that that's the position, and their job is to just stall out the time here, because that means that they can focus on this front line. However, Singzoom on that front line manages to collect a kill. Revolution is there, goes down to Serendipity inside of mid, and these defenders are so scattered. Cool Guru trying to activate through the smoke, and Jigglytofu is standing strong on the site, gets 2 kills, and now there's so much for Shmevy Buckets to overcome on such a low HP as well. Throws the wingman down on the spike, but it's not gonna do anything. Boba finds 7, and they're running away with Ascent.
I know I keep mentioning Chaos, but like, come on, what is that round?
There's so much. I mean, 2 attackers, as the spike is down, are rotating through their spawn and are just stalling out 2 defenders on the other side of the map. That time is just wearing down. It's insane.
The thing about that, though, is that the defenders actually forced that to happen. They probably could have had another player go help and just let one of them just stall out the 2 attackers, but they decided to double push, and that all worked out in the favor of Boba at the end of the day, and they will pick up their 7th round, which is so huge.
Like I said, things are going Boba's way in this map. They have gotten every read that they need, and even though the Annihilation will miss, the rifles will not. Boba collect more and more kills, and nothing goes the way of Podgies in this eco. It's not quite a flawless round. Cool Guru will assure that, but it is a team ace. Everything for Boba falling in place.
Nice. I do.
Thanks, man.
I do like how you're able to play off of Team Ace twice there. That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're starting to see some sort of fall here. We saw some life out of Podgies last game, at least at the last ladder of the first half. But in this one so far, I mean, it's kind of been all Boba for the most part. There has been some cases where Boba did find themselves at the player deficit, but for majority of this game, and 90% of the reason that they're actually winning is because they always have that player advantage, and that is definitely showing here. We're not seeing these players from Podgies actually stay alive in these rounds, and that is another thing that I want to make case of. Revolution cannot be falling so early in these rounds. One of your best players is definitely not helping the situation. Either way, this round is still, or this game is still available, and finally, find one on Clays. Caster Curse, baby.
Yeah, you are wanting, it seems like you want Podgies to get back into this series. I don't blame you because I feel like there's a little bit more than meets the eye here, and it'd be very disappointing for it to end 2-0 as finally we're seeing a rally from Podgies. They get a collection of kills, and with 3 alive, they will manage to fend off Boba's 9th round, and they're going to try and stack up an extra one going into the final round of the half.
I don't believe we heard a boom either, so I don't believe Boa knows that there is an operator on the field for Sing Zoom as well, so that is another option that Podgies can use to win these rounds. Of course, it doesn't look like it's going to find anything, as Boba is going to go B, because that is looking like their destination, at least for now, but either way, we'll see what Podgies do decide to do here. One person on B, this could be very dirty here for Shmevy.
Lot put onto Shmevy's shoulders here as they're the lone B defender, and that's where Boba are headed. So they're gonna start frantically calling that out to his team, but so much pressure, and they're gonna fall. Fossey isolates the fight through the boxes off the back of a sonar. B will be taken, and Clays is such a thorn in the side potentially here. Has had a couple of rounds like this where it's just such late activations, but a heads up awareness from Rivolution will even up this player count. So now the retake is on for Podgies. They're gonna try and secure a 4th here. And for Boba, they want to stack up a 9th as the retake is coming through. It's a very passive setup from Boba. They're trusting in their players to just win these fights as everything falls. It's gonna be Podgy who can't sustain this pressure, and Boba secure 9 on the half.
I think every single time that Boba has been able to set up on B, and especially Boathouse, they've been able to win it every single time. Serendipity, they're 16-6 on this Cypher. Absolute phenomenal. And this is the attack half for a Cypher. That is not something you want if you're Podgies, because that is going to hurt you so much with this momentum swing. But Alderia, of course, we are in this fabled round. We have to say it because we have to say it every single time to give teams hope. Do you believe in the 9-3 curse?
We're a bit of cursey casters ourselves, man. We got a couple under our belt, and just yesterday we saw one come through. So I think I have to say I believe in it, man. This could fall out of control for Boba if they end up victims to the curse.
But that's the best question. Clays will decide if it is.
Oh my god, a double kill out of Clays on Catwalk. Mr. Sky is brought down to 16 HP as well, which should set up Fossey to get this kill very easily, but not able to land the shot. Serendipity does manage to get a kill towards main, and Fossey will surely eventually claim this kill. As the drone comes through, it's all left to Shmevy Buckets in a 1v3 and can't even up the first hurdle. Fossey to close out the round.
I mean,
what is that? Oh, okay, that's him pulling the,
yeah.
the net. I was so confused. I thought my PC was dying for a second.
No, Fufu netted Fossey, but I do want to mention that yes, Fossey got those 2 kills, but obviously we have to mention Clays. That 2-piece, phenomenal there to win them that round. Opened it up, let Fossey actually have quite a good opportunity to kill the flank and also still pressure that main position where Serendipity also found one before getting traded. Very nice round, and now once again 4 pistols towards this Boba side, and Podgies, they're looking worse for wear.
Rhodes, I've got to mention it though. We were talking about the 9-3 curse, but alas, we have one of our own, and Boba now are looking down the barrel of it. Surely they don't fall to the pistol round. We need to get a name for this curse, honestly, because it's such a staple for us, and Boba are fancying these fights. However, they're not able to secure the kills. We'll just cut off market. They're going to throw up that wall. It's going to be difficult to break through for these attackers, as Fufu also claims one through that market wall. Things are not boding well here. Tofu ahead of the play inside of garage here. Can't quite muster the kill, though. Fufu's quick to respond, though, keeping this at an advantage for Boba. These attackers inside of Market are just going to fall back towards A, where there's a full stack of Cypher utility to meet them.
Yeah, it's going to spot them out, and this site is exactly known. They're not going to be pulling any funny tricks. They have to play all 3 members there. So as both trips hit... Oh, no.
And the trip doesn't get destroyed either, I believe. So it's going to reactivate. It does eventually get taken out. But now this is a 2v4 made 1v4 for Revolution. A clean shot on the Sheriff is all they'll find. Fossey is there to shut it down. And it is 11 rounds for Boba.
Derry, I'm checking my pockets right now, and I don't see any more curses we can cast. It is not looking good for Podgies. I don't know what they can do to somehow get back in this game, but we've seen Fnatic do things. We could call Podgies Fnatic for now. I mean, they're undefeated at the moment, but we need to see them pull something out.
A bit of a late team as well. You know, they take a bit to warm up in their series sometimes as well, you know.
This might be a bit too late.
It might be a little bit too late. Boba are fully fired up here, and it's looking pretty cold so far from Podgies. Not the form that we've come to expect out of them for sure.
And Boba is angry after last week, and they're showing it. They want to come back to the top of the leaderboards, but will they be able to do it? Fufu, another pick.
Oh my god. No way. Shmebby Buckets walks right into the laser beam of bullets being sent out by Fufu. And although they're spotted out by that owl drone, the damage is done. They're just going to try and stall towards this back generator position. Eats a lot of damage, but could collect yet another kill. Not allowed the triple, but it's set up Fossey and Serendipity to activate. And now everything has fallen apart for Podgies. It is the bonus round win for Boba to surely seal the deal here on Ascent.
Match point with some beautiful shots from Serendipity as well. 19-7 now, 14-7 for Fufu, by the way, on the deadlock. A pick we were not expecting whatsoever. A double Sentinel comp is not something you see. We did see it last time we actually watched Boba, but I mean, it's paying dividends. They are looking like a completely different team, and I think the same thing you can say about Podgies, that we are not seeing the same thing that showed up late in Haven, and it is definitely detrimental at the moment.
This is feeling so good for Boba, and Fossey with so much confidence is just gonna swing out Cat with that op. Won't manage to find a scalp quite yet, but is just gonna set up back towards it. Oh my god, what a position from Clays. Manages to only get 1 kill, but that's good kill at that. It's gonna identify that there's players coming in from this catwalk, and now Boba can start to constrict on mid. Their mid rounding has been amazing so far, and everything is falling into place for Boba as Fossey is still set up towards trees with this op. Serendipity goes 1 for 1, and things are looking bad for this attacking side as they continue to be whittled down. Mr. Sky does manage to take out Fufu. Heads up gunfight here for Tofu, and they'll win it out. The neural theft comes through. Mr. Sky trying to wrestle things back. Shmebby Buckets is just going to secure the site and get that plant down.
Kills going back and forth once again. Now we'll see some utility plays here for Mr. Sky, but this round is gonna come down very interestingly. We will see Fossey actually be able to pick up a gun for this ending round, and it looks like Mr. Sky is actually gonna be playing in main. So this is definitely an off center. They're trusting these kills for Shmebby here, trusting this stuff, and we're gonna see the Thresh come out as well.
Yeah, but it's a bit early as well, so it's just going to get shot out, and Mr. Sky activates early from main as well. The time is ticking low, but as Mr. Sky goes down, everything falls to Shmebby Buckets, whose location is known. They're starting to close in on him, but the time is low. Shmebby, you just have to deny this defuse, and we'll do exactly that. Barely by the skin of their teeth, Podgy will manage to stave off defeat.
Podgy's just absolute chaotic rounds. I mean, huge for them to actually win it. Of course, they did lose every single member, and that will force Boba into a weird economy situation too. But I mean, both teams looks like they're going to be forcing here. This is going to be another weird one, as just everything went back and forth. We saw the Thrashers didn't find much from Shmebby, but since they were able to find that pick onto the player defusing, I think it was Tofu. Either way, huge round there, and that is what you want to see to not end this game so far. But Fossey or the Sheriff can definitely show us something interesting to potentially close out this map.
This has been red hot, it feels like, in this second map. 14-7, and Serendipity is right up there as well. 20-8. These Boba players have so much confidence, and even with a weapon advantage, it's not going to be free, it feels like, for Podgies. As the Annihilation comes out, it's going to claim one player, and that means Fossey can activate from Gen, denies the plant, takes 2 kills, and everything falls apart for Podgies. It doesn't matter what weapons they have, Boba pulls through.
What a game there from Boba. Absolutely phenomenal, showing the revenge on Valorant in general from last week. 4 players topped the charts. Sorry, Jigglytofu, you top fragged last game, not this one. I mean, we saw almost no shortcomings coming from this Boba team. They just looked phenomenal throughout. They had a game plan. They stuck to it. Nothing really... Podgies couldn't really do anything to that attack that made it look even worse. It was just a beautifully well-played game.
And we're going to be pulling in Serendipity themselves for this post-match interview. Serendipity, congratulations on your 2-0 victory over Podgies to get back to winning ways in this league.
Thank you. It was a fun series. It was a really fun series.
I'm not sure how long you've been around with Boba, but they have a bit of a signature thing for themselves where it feels like any time that they end up losing a series, they bounce back with twice the strength. I've called it the Boba bounce back, and was that what we saw in effect today?
I mean, I think that after the last series that we had, I think that we did a lot of VOD review and really focused on our weaknesses, and we brought those weaknesses kind of, I don't know. We kind of worked on them through scrims and we figured them out a lot. And then we just came into this with a lot of confidence, knowing these players, knowing this team, and like we knew what we needed to do to get done. And I think we did today, and it was really good.
I wanted to ask, so you had the kind of rocky game last game. Of course, you also played really well. When you come into another one where you kind of lost your momentum, kind of lost the plot there, but were able to pull it back. What are you thinking about when you come into the second game and trying to play a bit more cleaner, try and win these rounds a bit safer for your team to actually pull through?
I think that for us, Ascent is a very big comfort pick. We were happy that it fell, and I think that after Haven, we kind of were like, okay, we know Ascent's kind of like our map, our go-to map. We have a bunch of anti-strats, we have a bunch of strategies, we have a bunch of plays. Like you saw Clay's doing that crazy play out mid. I have a bunch of one-ways. We have a bunch of like different kinds of setups. So I think that we were actually excited to have Ascent as a second map, and we're really confident on this map. And so I think that overall, after Haven, our consensus was like, that was a really tough match, but like that was a really tough map. But I think that Ascent will be a lot more kind of in our favor.
Specifically talking about your guys' counter-stratting in that map, I saw, in my opinion, in all the time that I've watched Boba, the strongest mid-rounding I've ever seen out of this team in this series. I just kind of wanted to ask you, what led to your guys' mid-rounding being so strong, and can we possibly look to see it more in the future develop?
Do you mean on like a Haven or Ascent?
Honestly, on both maps, but especially on Ascent, your guys' mid-rounding was on another level.
I think for us, primarily on Ascent, because it's kind of easier. If you watch like any of our VODs, like I'm usually solo holding a side of the map, and so for me, like I'm kind of like okay with that kind of pressure. Like there were a couple rounds where I got crunched on tiles, or that round where they're kind of like this team likes it a lot, like to take mid a lot. So me and Clay's had to set up a plan where we're just kind of gonna chill out, and I think that in a lot of ways we just play for them to push out. Like there were a lot of times where people just were dying in main, or we were able to find a pick, or we were able to know where people were based on like their smokes. So like if they were smoking mid, they were probably pushing out mid. And I think Tofu did a lot of like anti-stratting. It's a great IGL, but I think that we also kind of knew that we don't need to fight for space that they want, and that in a lot of cases it's better for us to just back up, reorganize, and just re-hit a site. So for us, it was much less about worrying how they're playing than worrying about how we were playing.
Well, it worked out for you guys, certainly. Some teams, they just need to play their game, and for you guys, that seemed like the winning equation here. Congratulations on your win, but that will wrap up this night for us. Thank you to everybody who tuned in, and we'll catch you tomorrow for the next game.
Adios.